What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Philly2Detroit Boxing. We have another very special guest on today. We got 12-time national champion, 2022 International Boxing Association gold medalist. How you doing, Yoseline Perez? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, good.
Good, good.
Thank you for hopping on with us. It's definitely an honor to be on with you today. So thank you for taking your time out to do this with us.
Of course, no, thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure.
For sure, for sure. And then I guess just to get it going, man, what got you into boxing? What created the love for the sport?
I think to start off with, it was my brother. He loves boxing. He's always been a huge fan of boxing. My whole family has, and he wanted to box, so we'd always be at the gym. And I wasn't like they didn't sign me up. It was just my brothers, all of them. They were boxing except me. And I guess the fact that my parents told me that I couldn't do it was the thing that made me want to do it the most.
Right,
They just said it wasn't for girls, and I was like, well, why can't it be for girls?
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And then like did that kind of motivate you? Like I know that kind of like did that kind of like spark a fire like what you mean I can't do it? Is it like,
Yeah,
what's the reason for you know what I mean? What's the reason?
definitely.
So is that kind of what got you to have the drive that you do? Because obviously to be at the elite level that you're at, you have to have some type of dedication and grind and drive to do this type of sport. Like what really I guess sparked that? Like, you know what I mean? What really sparked like I can really be elite at this? Like, even though my parents really don't want me to do it, but I can really be an elite level boxer. What sparked that?
I think it's a lot of everything, honestly, that did it for me. Because it takes a lot to wake up every day and choose to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. There's been a couple times where I seriously feel like maybe it's not for me. This is too hard or something, right? And
Yeah,
then especially whenever you take losses and stuff, I think those losses happen for a reason because I feel like I'm at a point where it's like I don't know if I can do this anymore, and then that loss sort of sparks that back up for me.
right, right.
So I guess sort of like falling short or like a loss always keeps me like going.
Yeah,
That I'm like, no,
right,
I'm not gonna end it like this. I can always come back from it.
definitely.
right. And at what age did you decide like this is what I want to do for a living? Like take care of my family with the sport.
Oh, I think I would say I was like 17,
Okay.
so not that long ago.
I'm about to say, how old are you now?
19.
19. Okay, yeah, yeah. And then can you tell us a little bit about your team and like the people who helped you get to this point? Because obviously, like I said earlier, like 12-time national champ, obviously not easy to do. International boxing gold medalist, definitely not easy to do. Like, tell us about some of the people who helped you get to this point and remain at this top level.
Oh well, definitely my parents. It's definitely them. They've always been there through the ups and downs, wins and losses. They've always been there. The times where I've felt like I'm on top of the world and the times where I've felt like I'm not that great, they've always been there supporting me and telling me and guiding me through the right path. So for that, I'll always be grateful because without them, I'm sure there would have been many times where I would just fallen short and not been able to come back.
Right.
So I think my dad is my he's my coach too. My dad and my brother
Okay.
are coaches, and they always keep pushing me to be better. And they've if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have been able to compete at that level or any
Hmm.
level for that matter. They didn't want me to do it at first, but then when they saw what I was capable of, they were like, you know what? We don't care if it's not for a girl. You're gonna make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'd say my dad is just he's guided me through a lot in life, not just boxing, and also my mom. I think she's my biggest motivation, especially she just knows what to tell me to get me up.
right. And do you feel like you take losses hard because you're a 12-time national champion? Because like the reality of life is every fight you go into, you're the favorite. You are expected to win when you have that when you're a 12-time national champion. Do you feel like that comes into play with taking the loss? Because it's like Yoseline Perez lost, and everybody's going to be surprised because, like I said, 12-time national champion. Every fight you into, you expected to come out victorious.
Yeah, that's since I was young and started off winning, I think that created like a huge pressure for me of like having to constantly win. Like my brothers
Hmm.
would say like I get stoppages back to back. So my brothers would just say like, "Why didn't you stop her?" If I wouldn't stop
Yeah.
the girl, like, why didn't you stop her? She was like, "You could have stopped that girl. You could have done this. You could have done that."
Yeah.
And I think that just, and I'm prepared for that. I think as I've grown, I've become more aware of all of this comes with baggage, heavy baggage, and you know you're supposed to just put up with it. And yeah, I think the pressure of like losing it gets to me sometimes, and maybe that's the thing that makes me like feel it the most.
Right.
Then if like nobody would notice me or see me, then just feel like a loss, right? That I'll be able to like come back from. But it's like also the idea of like, oh, what people might be saying. That's also like
Yeah.
But I know that at the end of the day, I actually started taking losses like more better recently. I'm like aware, like hey, like comes with it,
Right.
More of a learning opportunity
Yeah.
rather than like a loss. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I see it now, instead of just taking it the worst way possible.
Right. And then, oh, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, did you just compete in this up and coming tournament that just happened or no?
Which
At
one?
the recent nationals,
Lubbock?
Texas.
the one that was in Houston.
Oh, Houston. No, I haven't competed in Houston recently. There's really like not many people, many girls for me to compete with there.
All right. Oh, no, go ahead, bro.
I know. I was gonna say. So, I also recently saw like just going up and down your Instagram, like you got the opportunity to interview Michael B. Jordan, and also Tessa Mae Thompson. How was that opportunity? Obviously, for us, as interviewers, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So, like, how was that? How was that opportunity? And were they cool people?
Oh man, yes, they were so nice. I think that's what made it more easier for me to talk to them and interview them.
Yeah.
How like welcoming they were, and they were just so like kind, and I really appreciate that because that made me feel like a little bit more safe. I walked in there super nervous, but then as I like started conversation, it kind of like wore off, and then I forgot that cameras were there. I thought it was just like a conversation between me and another person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was definitely nervous. Definitely more nervous than any fight.
And then I know you said your dad and your brother are your head trainers. How is that relationship? Just I guess in the fighting aspect, because we do see those parent fighter relationships that kind of can go bad, but they also can flourish. That we see as just for an example, like a Devin Haney, him and his dad flourished, but sometimes we see people like a Teofimo Lopez, where sometimes they kind of clash a little bit, even though he is highly successful, just had a great night. But sometimes him and his dad kind of get into it a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how is that relationship with you guys between like parent, brother, and fighter relationship?
I'd say it used to be like Teofimo and his dad. Yeah, clash heads a lot, and it gets bumpy. It's not easy because I've come to the realization that boxing, everyone has different taste. I guess you could say for boxing, right? Some people like how I fight, and some people just don't like it. They're not a fan. They're like, you know how to fight, and then there's people that like certain boxers, and then other people are just like, I don't see what you're talking about. I just don't like how they fight. So we all just see different stuff. For example, like judges as well. Some judges think one of them find one, and then the other one is like, what are you seeing? Like, it's different from what I'm seeing. Like, your boxing is different from my boxing. So I think that's what happens between like me, my brother, and my dad. That we sometimes just don't agree with certain aspects in boxing, but most of the part we come together, and I think our relationship has just flourished now recently, and we are able to get along better and know that we all want the same thing, and it's to succeed. So there really shouldn't be anything stopping us from that.
And kind of going off that, I know you kind of hit on like judges seeing certain things and fights and whatnot. I know you just you got your gold medal in the International Boxing Association. Do you feel like there's like a difference between like international judging and judging over here at the U.S. national level?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think there's some judges internationally that just I guess you could say, well, there's a little bit of both. It's the same internationally in here because some judges out there agree with some judges here, and some judges here agree with the ones out there.
Yeah.
So it's all mixed up in a way, because there was a fight where there was only one fight which I won by decision, and there was this one judge out of the 5 that thought that I lost.
Right.
All 4 judges thought that I won.
Yes.
And I was outboxing the girl, but I guess because that one judge liked the girl just coming at me, being like, oh, the girl's being more aggressive. And like I've seen that here in the States too. There's been like 3 judges, I think the kid that's boxing won, and then the other 2 judges think like, no, the other kid is coming forward, even though the other kid is getting tagged. Right. But I think you just see a mix, and anywhere, it doesn't matter what part of the world, we all just think alike and then don't think alike.
Yeah, it just depends on who it is, kind of
thing. Depends on who it is.
Yeah, right. And how would you kind of describe your boxing style?
I was just looking at a video of that this morning. I would say both. I would say a little bit of both, the brawler and the boxing one, depending on what fits best with my opponent.
Right.
I know if the girl's like a hard hitter and like she's a bull and just comes forward, then I'm like, I can't stay there in front of her because I'm doing her fight.
Yeah.
I can't get out the way and just keep touching her, because it's amateur boxing at the end of the day, and it's just about the points.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't expect to knock her out in 3 rounds.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And speak on your power, because we actually just interviewed Gabriella Tellus.
Oh yes, yeah, she's from San Antonio.
Yeah, she's we asked her, who were some of the girls that brought the best out of her, and she mentioned you as one of them, and said that you really got popped. And then when we first got on this interview, you were saying how your brother be like, why you ain't stop her? Are you kind of getting known for your power in the amateur circuit?
I'm not sure. I should probably ask people that. But I definitely I do get it a lot from coaches and stuff, like being up here in camp. They've also told me to like stop focusing so much on my power, to just like let my hands go and let the speed do its thing. Like, the power will be there with the speed, you're just like, but I guess I'm just used to, like, if I see someone like, hurt, I'm like, I'm just gonna go at them with power. But that's usually how I get the stoppages, and that's what happened internationally. So I didn't really get to experience too much of the judging out there, because I would just stop the girls. I would stop. Yeah, like I can't trust these judges in my head.
Yeah, definitely.
I just gotta get the stoppage. So that's like my mind. Every time I get in the ring, I'm like, I need the stoppage, because I'm taking it as like they're not gonna like how I fight, so or something. I'm like, I just need to get the stoppage.
Yeah. Do you like that? I guess, I mean, at the amateur level, obviously you've been highly successful, but do you like, I guess, the pace of it? Because obviously, like you said, you don't want to leave it into the hands of the judges, because it can, like we kind of went through, it could be situational. Like, do you like that pace of the amateurs where you have to hurry up like that, or would you rather be at your own pace, picking your shots, sitting down on shots? What kind of do you? I guess is what I'm asking. Like, do you like that?
I guess if I'm being honest, I would prefer to like sit down and pick shots. I think most of the times where I've been like the most successful, especially in sparrings, is feeling like I can take my time, not feeling. And being an amateur and at the elite level is like you're constantly being rushed to let your hands go. But it's like I'm gonna get tagged, if I'm like rushing in constantly. So I'm like, that's something I've always disliked since I was a kid. My dad's like, hey, you gotta learn it. You're gonna get touched. It's boxing. And I'm like, I don't want to get touched. What if I can just touch and not get touched?
Right. And to speak on that, has it been hard to stay in the amateur system? Like, do you plan to turn pro in the future, or are you waiting for the 2028 Olympics or the 24 Olympics? Because you're 19, so you actually don't have to wait for the 28 Olympics.
Yeah, so that's the plan. I've told my dad for a long time that my goal has always been 2024 Olympics, and depending how 2024 Olympics go, well, not really. I think I'd stay amateur till 2028. I think that would be my best option as a woman in boxing. I think that would definitely build the foundation I need in order to turn pro and just dominate.
Right.
By 2028, I'd be 24, so that wouldn't be too old to like turn pro, do probably a couple years pro, and then retire.
Right. Just gonna try to get some belts, get some straps, and then So it's going. I guess going off that's actually very interesting. You said turn pro 24, fight for a couple years, and then get up out of there. Like, do you have other goals set for you? Like, what's some of your goals in life? I guess because obviously you've been successful at boxing. More 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a great pro boxer. You're Olympic gold medalist. Hopeful. We rooting for you for sure. So like, what are some of your goals in life? I guess.
I think, since, I don't know, I've just become so, like, obsessed with boxing. So I would definitely want to help out, like, the younger generation coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely, that's what I want to do. That's the whole goal of, like, becoming a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Like, who like, wouldn't want to, like, pay attention to what I have to say. And then, turning pro and having belts on me too I would use that platform and all the money that I, like, acquired throughout the years to build a good foundation for the next generation coming up. So, they know that they're, someone has their back, like, no matter what. And, like, I'd want them to be successful too. Because boxing isn't easy. And I've been blessed enough to have, like, the most supporting parents. But I know there's also bright stars out there that just don't have that support. And they could become so much more, if they just had it.
Right. Yeah, this got a call.
Sorry about that.
No, so
no, you're good. And to speak on women's boxing, how do you feel the state of women's boxing is right now with the Alicia Baumgartners and Clarissa Shields and Katie Taylor's putting on?
Oh man, I'm kind of sad that I won't be able to catch them. But I'm very, very happy for them, and I think they're doing just an amazing job at what women's boxing is all about, right? I think that was much needed, and I'm glad that it's happening now, because I know by the time I get there, it's definitely gonna be up there.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, because they're doing their thing right now. So it's obviously great. Like, we kind of spoke about this with Gabriella as well. Like 2022, you could argue that women's boxing had the best fights in boxing, period. You know what I mean? So it's obviously great to see. Obviously, for me, Clarissa Shields, I'm from Michigan, so she's from Michigan. I've always loved Clarissa Shields. And then also, Alicia Baumgartner. So it's obviously really great to see women's boxing flourishing. And then I guess going back to Gabriella, who are some of your favorite people to kind of get some work in? Who bring the best out of you? Obviously she said you were one of the best people she gets in the ring with. Who are some of the best people that bring the best out of you?
Oh, that's really nice. I admire her so much. She is she's so young and talented. Like, you can see the drive. She's very dedicated at such a young age, and I think she's gonna be something. Forward to. I love getting in the ring with her. She definitely just doesn't stop coming. Like, she says that I have a good pop. I'm like, hey, you can take it because you just keep coming. But people that bring out the best, I'd say Ginny Fuchs. She's a pro boxer now. She went to the Olympics in 2020. Here at the Olympic Training Center, I've been getting good work in with Jahaira Gonzalez. Alyssa Mendoza. She's one of the people that I've also, like, competed with, like, 3 times already. We fought. But yeah, since I was a kid, I think me and Jury, we'd always get the work because she's from Houston too. So yeah, there's too many. A lot of people in LA. There's Ramla Ali, Perla. We also have Cobra. You just have a lot of women in boxing now that just
No, DAWG's coming up, man. Some DAWGs really coming up.
So, I've been blessed enough to have the opportunity to, like, find these people and, like, get the work in with them, go wherever they are, and, like, just, I think that's also something that I'm very grateful for, because that's also made me better.
Right.
Definitely.
You got one for bro?
No, you got it, bro.
No, I was gonna say, well, we do got some fight predictions we wanted to ask you. Obviously, some thoughts of yours on some fights. We obviously just had the Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez last night. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Okay, how did you feel about that fight? Unfortunately, I had Josh Taylor winning the fight. Unfortunately,
I had Teo, so I already knew what was gonna happen.
Oh, you had Teo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but obviously Tio came out, looked great last night. I'm not surprised, but I did just think Josh Taylor had some experience at 140. I thought he put on a better fight. But
did his
what
thing
were
for
your thoughts
sure.
on that fight?
It's a little bit tough, to think about it, but I definitely had Theo like since the beginning because I'm already like a huge fan of him, so I might have been a little bit biased already.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I definitely had Theo, and I knew he was gonna come out there and like try to make a statement. And I know that whenever he has mindset on something, he can just definitely accomplish it. Just based off of Lomachenko beating Lomachenko.
right.
I'm like,
No, definitely.
got at a highest point at such a young age that maybe that might have affected him.
Mm-hmm.
That he like very very quickly. But I think that if he takes his time, he can like get back at it.
So I'm assuming he said he was retiring last night, but I'm thinking you don't agree with. You don't think that's true.
A lot of
Yeah,
people say that, but
I
yeah, he not gonna retire.
don't think that's true either. He probably was just in the moment, the emotions. Yeah,
yeah, I give him a couple 8 months for him to announce his next fight.
yeah,
No, definitely. I was gonna say like 6.
yeah. No, I agree with that too. And then we also have Inoue and Stephen Fulton coming up late July. Are you a fan of those guys? How do you see that fight going?
Sorry, say that again. Who was
We
it?
got Nile Inoue, the monster, versus Stephen Fulton, cool boy Steph out of Philly. Are you a fan of those guys? How you see that one going?
Yes. That's no, I have no way. I
Yeah,
really
yeah, anywhere.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
It's a tough one.
No.
It's a
No,
tough
I
one.
got the opposite side. I got cool boy. I'm from Philly though, so I might be biased, but
yeah.
No,
I for that too, but this man, he's just I don't know. It's gonna be a good fight. That's all I know. It's definitely gonna be a good fight. That's a tough one, actually.
yeah, it's a really tough one. It's kind of like it's a boxer versus like a very hard puncher who can also box as well. So it's kind of I don't know. It's 50-50 in a lot of people's eyes, and I kind of agree with that too. We kind of hit on Gio that kind of like it's probably one of the best fights of the year on paper.
no, definitely.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask you too, has any big promoters reached out and let you know that they like basically like keeping an eye out for you? Or any promoters that try to make you turn pro now?
Yeah, funny that you say that. Yeah, I was just in LA a couple weeks ago, and I've had we went to this gym called the Knockout Factory, and it's basically like Manny Robles in them, and they
Mm-hmm.
have close connection with like Matchroom and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and so they've they were telling my dad about it like right after sparring and stuff about like they were wondering if I was pro ready or not, and I was like, no, I'm so amateur, this and that, and then they were just telling me like, yeah, like if you want to like turn pro, like we can like get you like connected with like Eddie Hearn and all that
Yeah.
stuff like that,
yeah,
like everything felt like so. I was like, yeah, that's actually like the dream, right?
right.
Oh no, like I want to take it slow, like 2024 has always been like the goal. But yeah, my dad was like, hey, we should like think about it, this and that, and then it was like, and we ended up like just saying like, no, not right now. My
Oh,
dad
so
told me,
your dad was actually your dad actually would have been with it if he was like, yeah, I want to turn pro.
dad definitely he just loves pros so much more, and like he thinks that yeah, he's just like he's excited to see how
It
my
usually be the other way around. It
no
usually be the other way. It usually be the fighter one to sign it, and the trainer be like, no, just wait a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Do
no
it be hard to turn down opportunities like that? Because obviously it come with you'll have a big signing bonus. You'll be getting paid now. You'll be fighting on TV. Is it hard to turn down opportunities like that?
no because I told my dad like I explained it to him that if 2024 and 2028 work out just as I have planned, that the bonus and the pre-signing and all that would be so much
crazy,
three
man.
times three times
Yeah,
what it would be right now.
definitely. No, definitely.
And I just told my dad, just trust me, please, just like put your trust on me, like
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
And what gave you that mindset to actually like want to wait and like? Because most, like I said, most amateurs, even the top amateurs, want to turn pro because they just don't like the amateur system. Even you spoke on how the amateur system is. What makes you still have that mindset? Like, no, I'm gonna still take my time, go to this Olympics and that Olympics, then we gonna go pro.
Because I think I've had a lot of people that I've looked up to that I felt like they've rushed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things sometimes don't go as they plan, or things like, you know, are going slower than they expected, and it's because they're rushing it. And I've come to a realization that in boxing is just like life, and in boxing and life, you can't rush anything.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take your time with it, perfect it. You know, and you know, God's timing is always perfect. That's all. That's what I say.
You said you at the USA Training Center right now.
Yes.
How is it being in that atmosphere? Because everybody in there is elite at what they do. Is it like, do you feel pressure when you sparring them girls, knowing that everybody here is the best at what we do?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I think I feel a little bit more stiff and like tight out here than if I were to be back at home and be with my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling confident and like doing, like, knowing that I know what I'm doing, and out here sort of like, do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
No,
But
yeah.
yeah, I think it's my dad actually came out here to, you know, help me out a little bit with mitts and stuff, and to, you know, also like work me mentally, tell me like, you know, what you're doing, you know, you just gotta like show them that you got it, and that's it, you know, and they're gonna,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said, bro, you get back to some fight predictions.
No, I was gonna say no. That's dope. I know that atmosphere is crazy because obviously, you know, any boxer, amateur boxer in the world would love to be like in that facility right now. You know what I mean? Competing to be on that U.S. national team. So we know that opportunity and experience got to be crazy. But obviously, you know, we got one of probably the biggest fight, you know, in the last few years. We got Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence coming up next month, end of the month. How you feel about that one? How you see that one going?
Uh, I'm biased again. Got Bud. I
You
love
got Bud?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
about to say you in Colorado Springs. I already know who she was gonna pick when she said bias.
Terrence Crawford. That man. Yeah, he's one of the fighters that I've always like I watch, and I'm constantly trying to learn new things from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got it down. He knows what he's doing. I think. I'm not saying he's gonna, you know, like be a walk in the park, but I'm sure you know, he got it under control.
I'm interested in seeing now. I don't know who I got in this fight. You know, it's one of those ones that I can't pick right now, at least. So
Yeah,
we'll see how
I
that.
want I want Bud to win, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know right now.
Yeah, I
That's a
want.
hard fight. That's a real hard fight for Bud to win. Like Spence, I always say like Spencer, like if you go to like 100 coaches and ask them to describe their perfect fighter, like 70 of them would just describe Errol Spence Jr. Like he fundamentally sound at everything, go to the body, jab, combination punches. He's just a hard man to beat.
No,
Hey, Bud is disciplined too. You know, that takes a lot too. Not just being disciplined in the ring, but also outside the ring. And I think Bud's got everything.
yeah, no, I
No, but I definitely got him outside the ring because Spence be looking like a light heavyweight,
feel.
but always in shape.
No, yeah. And then who you got with we always love asking this one too, Shakur and Javante Davis. Obviously that's gonna be both of them guys, that's gonna be their toughest fight probably of their careers, you know what I mean? So how do you feel about that one?
I know it's gonna be such a good fight, but all right. I hope. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't say either. I would want to say like I hope it's a draw, but I don't want it to be a draw either because they both, you know, wouldn't like that. I just love Tank so much, but and I want him to win. I would want Tank to win, but I think Shakur might
So
have.
you the first person to ever say that.
Yeah, you are the
I
first
feel like
person.
everybody on the national team just so like infatuated with Shakur. Like all of the elite amateurs just love Shakur.
No,
You're the first person that we had that picked against him.
don't get me wrong. I think Shakur's a clean fighter, and I think he might get it, but I just something about Tank. I just want him to win.
Mm.
No, I feel you on that. No, obviously Shakur is definitely on a different level, you know what I mean, when it comes to just like boxing skill and IQ, just on a different level. So he's gonna be a tough fight for anybody, but obviously Tank is going to be his toughest fight for sure. Probably in his career. So I'm definitely excited to see that one if it ever happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If we say Shakur and Haney, then I'd just definitely be like, yeah, Shakur.
That was coming too. See, we ain't gotta ask it.
So how you feel about the Haney versus Tank?
Haney versus Tank? Oh, I just want Tank to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one.
So did you think Lomachenko won that fight, the last fight?
Ooh, if I'm being honest, he did, but I put money on Haney, so I'm glad.
Right.
That's
No.
funny.
No, that makes sense.
I was going to ask about the David Benavidez versus Canelo. Who would you pick in that one? David just sent him a $50 million offer.
I think Canelo said no too.
David sent Canelo a $50 million offer to fight him.
Dang, that's dang that one.
That's hard to turn down.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's a tough one. I'd say Canelo. I think he's I don't know, he looks like, like the cleaner boxer and nicer one, nice weight. He moves his weight. He's been doing it for like a long time now. So but Benavidez could be a little bit sloppy, but sometimes that works against someone who doesn't like.
No, definitely.
So that'd be a tough one, but I'd probably say Canelo.
I was about to say you probably one of the first that said Canelo in that too. Surprisingly though, obviously Canelo.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Canelo too. I mean, I don't know. I just think Canelo got to box a little bit more than he usually do.
Yeah, and he has the power and stuff, and I guess because Benavidez was getting outboxed by Plant that entire fight.
Yeah.
He got him good until Plant couldn't hang anymore. That was the plan all along. That Plant was gonna break at the end, the same way that he did with Canelo. But Canelo's in the type of fighter to break.
No, I feel you on that.
Fight could even be a draw if it goes like all 12 rounds.
Mm-hmm. And Benavidez, his size just kind of imposes on people because he's just so big, and when he come in, he in great shape. He can last the whole 12 rounds. So I think that's kind of like imposing and kind of like intimidating for some people. And then it's like the volume of punches he throwing is crazy. So it's like
speed and power.
Yeah, that's true too. And Benavidez, has like the bigger size over him, the same way that Vivo had the size over Canelo. So that might also take place in that fight.
No, definitely.
Might say though, but you got any more questions for her, bro?
Nope, I'm all good. I appreciate you for coming on. It's always great to have like elite level talent and really cool people on the podcast. So I really appreciate you for coming on.
No,
I about to say you got. I apologize. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say you got give out your social media and let everybody know where they can find you at.
Oh yes, my name is Yoseline Perez, so it's YOSELINE and then P.E.REZ.